Hello, dreamers. Welcome to the Dreamers Podcast. I'm your host, Anne-Lyse, and I'm really excited to be here today. Honestly, I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to you for tuning in. I really miss talking to you all. I truly, truly appreciate your patience during this 3-month break. I appreciate the kind words, the emails, the messages, and I'm happy to say that I am back. And I'm excited for season 5 of the podcast. Really, I started this journey as a podcaster and a personal finance writer to really share what I know about personal finance and encourage anyone listening to go after the wealthy life that they want to live, whatever the terms look like for them. And also, I wanted to bring on experts and learn alongside you all about different wealth building strategies so that we can all live financially free. It's been almost 4 years since I left my corporate job. And I really did that because I had a desire to live a more meaningful life. I wanted to live a life that was aligned with my purpose and interest. And I wanted to take back control of my time. And looking back at the last 3.5 years, I'm happy to say that I've been able to do that. But it hasn't come without challenges, right? It's been a bumpy road. There's been a lot of ups and downs. To be real, life has been moving really fast. And I really feel like life has been moving at the speed of light. It's been completely crazy. I was constantly on go mode because I was and I will continue to manage business, the financial literacy work that I do, my family, real estate business, just family life in general, lots of traveling. And I was exhausted, honestly exhausted. And I felt like I didn't have the time to do some of the things that I truly enjoyed anymore. And more things were added onto my plate. Granted, I was agreeing to add them onto my plate that didn't really add any joy to my life. So I really needed to take a step back and take a moment to reassess and look at everything going on in my life and see the best way to move forward. The only way I could have a moment was by hitting pause on some things. Yes, so to be fully transparent, building a business as an entrepreneur, it's challenging. Transitioning leadership in an already established business that's been running for 40 years with one leader comes with its own sets of challenges. And doing both of these things at the same time, let's just say that it's been quite the adventure. And I really wanted to take a step back to learn more so I could be better business person, better leader, better human being. I wanted to improve. So I was able during the break to take some time to read more and strategize more. I know in the past I've talked about the FIRE movement, right? Which is the financial independence, retire early movement. And if you want to learn more about it, I invite you to check out episode 19, season 1 of the podcast, where I talk about what FIRE is, which is essentially getting to a point in life where you have enough money invested so that you can live off your investment without having to work for a living. And there's multiple versions of FIRE. I've shared in the past that my family and we had reached Coast FIRE a few years back, which essentially means that we have enough money invested so that when the normal retirement age comes, we know that we're covered. But in the meantime, however many years we have until retirement, we do have to work for a living. And as I mentioned before, it doesn't mean that we stopped investing. We've actually continued to invest along the years to build a more significant nest egg. And I was intrigued by the FIRE movement initially, but then I wanted to focus more on building a life that I could enjoy along the way, as opposed to focusing on reaching FIRE. One thing that I discovered also in recent years is that though FIRE is attractive and it's a good goal to aim toward, if that's something that interests you, I'm personally interested in like a fat FIRE, which is wanting to be able to enjoy certain aspects of life, not having to sacrifice them. I don't necessarily want the luxurious life, but I also don't want to live like a completely lean lifestyle. That's what I'm working towards. Yeah, so I took advantage of the break to really reflect on what I wanted my life to look like of the near future, also long term. I took the time off it wasn't necessarily time off, but I guess time off from the podcast, right? To be a student and learn as much as I can about topics that interest me. Also figure out what I wanted the podcast to look like going forward. And honestly, it was just a good break for my mental health. I think I had been pouring from Antica because of all of the different hats that I wear and how taxing it's been on my body. Even though I haven't been all work and no play, but I think because I've been trying to do all those things and be a good mother, a good wife, and all of that, and do all that travel, I just needed a break. So, anyways, I am back. Some of the things that I truly enjoyed during this time off is I read some amazing books. I'll share some of the books here with you. I read Principles, Work and Life by Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is one of the greatest investors of, I think, the past 25 years. It is such a great book. It's not just about investing, but it helps you create principles that you can apply in your life, in your business, and I strongly encourage you to check it out. Another book that I read is A Healthy State of Panic by my friend Farnoosh Torabi. This book is about giving you a blueprint to follow your fears, to build wealth, crush your career, and win at life. I strongly recommend this book. Farnoosh is a leading personal finance expert, and she's been talking about money way before a lot of us. She has a wealth of knowledge, and I truly enjoyed reading the book. One of the books that I also enjoyed was The Urgent Life by Bozoma St. John, and it was just an amazing reminder that every moment that we hear counts. We should try to make it count because we never know how much time we have or how much time our loved ones have. Another book that I share, and that's going to be the last one, is The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right. If not, don't hold that against me. But this book was just a great book to read for my specific situation, but also I think it's great for anyone who has a team that they manage or works on a team, is a leader on a team, because it gives so many good pointers on how to improve a team and create a better work environment that is going to lead to more success for the team, the company, the business. Another great resource that I discovered during this time as I listened to more podcasts is the Founders Podcast. And it's an amazing resource that basically goes over biography and just research on brilliant founders, from Coco Chanel to Ralph Lauren to Sam Walton to Warren Buffett, to name a few. So I strongly encourage you to check it out. Also, the break gave me time to explore more advanced investing opportunities. One thing that I want to do is to diversify my investments more. So I started investing in syndication deals, educating myself on investing in VC funds and angel investing. Yeah, I definitely want to go into more advanced investing opportunities. So I needed to educate myself. I think I've mentioned before that I was interested in learning how to trade. Back when I was in college, my freshman year, I was day trading and I did pretty well, but it was I think it was stressful for me. And I'm just an emotional investor because I know how I am. I've been kind of staying away from that, and I've been just investing for the long term, setting it, forgetting it, and not looking at my investments. So one of the things that I've been very intrigued by ever since having Terry Ijeoma on the podcast, if you want to listen to Terry's episode, it's episode 33, season 2. And Terry is a trader. She's made an absolute killing trading over the past, I think, 15 years. And the way she talks about trading is a very much so simplified way that intrigued me, where she mentioned that even for people who are emotional when it comes to investing, there's a way to set things up so that you don't have to constantly worry, right? And back when I was trading, it wasn't as advanced as it is now. I'm going to give you a disclaimer here, a caveat here. I continue to believe that if you want guaranteed long-term returns, investing in mostly low-cost index funds and doing it for the long run is how you're going to be able to build wealth for sure. Because some of the companies that were around that were doing extremely well, maybe 20 years ago, like GE are not doing so tough today. I'm always an advocate of putting most of my investments into low cost index funds. Then I personally have a small portion of my portfolio allocated towards a few stocks that I believe in long term, like 10, 15, 20 years, like the apples of the world. So for me, I would say 80% of my long term investments are in index funds, about 15% are in individual stocks, and 5% is alternative investments. So, anyways, this is not at all me saying that that's what your portfolio should look like. I'm just sharing what mine is. So, in terms of trading, though, I don't see trading as a long term investment. When it comes to my particular strategy, what I'm continuing to do is investing for the long term and, setting and forgetting it. But then I also took a little bit of money that I set aside to start trading. I'll let you know how it goes. Maybe I'll do a check-in in 6 months. But this is essentially money that I'm okay losing, but hopefully I can turn this into a profit and start making money with it. But I don't want to become like a day trader. So I'm planning on taking a certain amount of trades every year and see how it goes, right? Because again, I'm trying to simplify my life, not make it more complicated. Anyways, that was long-winded, but yes, I'm also learning how to trade in a more, I guess, not mechanical way. If you're listening to this podcast, you're clearly interested in growing, learning, and wealth building. And even though I'm the host, those are things that I'm continuously looking to do and get better at. What does the future look like for the Dreamers podcast? We're going to have a slightly different show. We're going to expand the topics, but it's still going to be at the intersection of wealth building. There's going to be more personal development. So wealth building and personal development. I'm very, very excited that we continue to grow together with this show. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, please send them to the Dreamers Podcast 21 at gmail.com. The Dreamers Podcast 21 at gmail.com. But yeah, before you go, don't forget to hit subscribe, leave a review, share the podcast with other people in your network. And I'll definitely be back here next week with a brand new episode. It's going to be an interview, and I'm so excited for you guys to hear it. Thank you, Dreamers. Again, I appreciate your patience, and stay tuned for coming content. Let's continue this journey together of wealth building and personal development. If you want to share with me some of the wins that you've had over the past few months or some of the challenges that you're facing that I can potentially assist you with, please don't hesitate to reach out and email. But that is it for today's episode. And I cannot wait to see you back here next week for another episode of the Dreamers Podcast. Bye.